Terence, no audio.
Oh, look at that. So we could hear Paul, we couldn't hear me. Too funny. I'm not watching the comments, so I'll go backwards. Since those of you out there is probably a small percentage of you that everybody's telling Paul to yell at me. I don't have my normal microphones here because if you were with us last week, we had microphone problems, and now we have a different kind of microphone problem this time, which is simply just no smart guy behind the wheel. But anyway, I am here at home in front of my aquarium because the county of Santa Clara has decided, along with a number of other Bay Area counties, that we need to shelter in place, that we cannot go to our offices of work unless it's of vital importance in the community. And as much as apexes are of vital importance to all of us, I don't think the county sees it that way. And so our entire company is pretty much shut down as far as the physical location. But if you read the notification this morning, we are doing many of our jobs from home, from research and development to engineering, to sales, to support. All of that is still going on. I've got Paul waiting in the wings here. We're going to chat about how some of that might affect you and what some of that might mean for you in terms of your apex or your trident and various things in that regard. But the most important thing is that we all stay as healthy as we can. The social distancing thing is real. It definitely will take the load off of our community services and healthcare by not having everybody be sick all at once and making sure that we don't spread this any faster than we need to as part of that. And so we don't regret having to do this because we know it's in the best interest of everybody. That said, the next few live streams you're probably going to be seeing with me in front of the aquarium here. I know, it sucks, I know, to have to do live streams from home. But we'll get through all of this, and we know that the Neptune control freaks out there are all part of our family, and we'll make it happen. So let me see about getting Paul on here. We do have Skype. I know Paul's mic probably works, and he probably didn't hit the mute button on it like I did. So
Hey, hey, how's it going, Terence? Yeah, it was a whirlwind day yesterday for me. I'll tell you that. Things had to happen very quickly. We had to make some really big decisions really fast to be able to, in the best interest of the company and in the best interest of our employees and in the best interest also, most importantly, of our customers as well. So with all of those things in mind, it was a whirlwind day yesterday, and today we're kind of getting comfortable with how that's working, and the support team and things like that.
well, I just turned my sound on again because it seems that on this screen I also had the sound off, but now I think the sound is good, and it's all good. So this is a week long battle that I'm having with sound. I guess I didn't put
Yeah.
the money in the slot. I think it's okay now. I think they're just a little bit behind in the stream. We should be getting sound out to everybody. I think. Yeah, sure. Anyway, it's definitely an adjustment for all of us because shelter in place really means, yeah, shelter in place. We're just with our families, stocked up on the food as much as we can, and just do what we can do from home.
Exactly, and yesterday, we went out. It was, I don't know, probably many people can share this experience right now. It's a little pandemonium yesterday, I would say, to see all the shelves just completely empty of all the necessities like milk and all those sorts of things. But at Neptune Systems, right, we also had to do some things. So we sent all of our employees home yesterday. So that was the last day. Everyone worked really hard to make some things happen, and Terence can kind of get the ball rolling on what we did yesterday to sort of be able to take care of our customers over the next couple of
Well, I mean,
weeks.
specifically, and Paul really, we've got to commend Paul here for really taking this one by the reins at the home office. I was actually working from home yesterday as well when all of this went down, when we got all of the notifications, and so Paul, put it right into low gear, probably not even high gear, to climb the mountain. And the most important thing that we thought would be is to get out all of the reagents that we possibly could out into the sales channel where you guys could have access to them over the next 3 weeks, because we cannot ship a single thing out of our home office for 3 weeks. So you shipped
Yes,
quite
and
a
that
bit of that, huh?
Yeah, so I mean that was the first realization of we have a consumable product now, right? And we've been dealing with having that consumable product over the last year and a half, and I think we've done a really good job in making sure that there is always it's always available.
Maybe not
And
reagent sixes.
one thing we know, okay, we don't need to go into that,
I'm just
Terrence.
getting
All
it
right,
ahead of the
we're focused on
comments. Okay, that's all, Paul. Just getting ahead of the
right.
comments.
Yeah. So yesterday, we called obviously an emergency management meeting with our production team and shipping team, more importantly, and put as many reagent twos into the channel as possible, as quickly as possible. We've been managing the inventory of that because we haven't wanted people to be hoarding these, right? So we haven't wanted to put a whole bunch in the channel because we know how much the Tridents are actually consuming, right? And we didn't want to glut the channel, but we decided yesterday, with us being down for 3 weeks and not being able to ship out any reagent to our customers directly, that we needed to make sure that they were as available as possible. So we sent out a lot of reagents.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is the part that I want to pick up on too for you guys, is that we did tell all of our partners. We said, look, you're going to have all of this available to you. You can't throw it up on your websites, because most of the product went to online stores because it's more easily available across the board to people in the country. But you can't just put it up on the website and let everybody be able to get as much as they want, because there will be a couple of really stupid people out there who will try to either take advantage of it, or they'll be freaking out, or whatever it may be. So all the online stores have agreed that they're putting in place kind of limits so that can't happen. So don't freak out. If you have a 2-month supply, or you need to buy 2 month supply, that'll last you until we come back online. So I wouldn't freak out about that. If you were running and love to run at 12 times a day, might be prudent to turn it back to 4 times a day, just so that you can make it last a little longer, just in case. But definitely, it's something that we want your cooperation out there, and also, we only have a couple hundred people in the stream here, so let other people know when you go online into the social media world. Hey, please don't go out and buy numerous reagent twos when other people might need them, because we can't push any more out the door. What's out there and what will arrive, I don't know, Paul, arrive later this week, or it'll be on the stores for sure no later than the beginning of next week. That will be it for 3 weeks. Now, some of the stores may not push it all out on their store all at once too, just so you know. They may push it, they may put 100 units out and then another 100 units out. It's up to them how they want to do that.
Yeah, so we shipped all of them out on pallets yesterday, using freight priority, which is a 3 and 4 day window to most of our dealers. It's definitely an expeditious way to send freight. They are currently in transit and scheduled to hopefully arrive before the end of the week. But dealers already had reagent in the channel and things like that. So in terms of availability, right? What's out there is there, and there's more coming.
So, of course, there's a couple of different things around this, which is, whatever plans we had for international, which we did have plans to have it fairly soon. I can't say exactly when, but it will push that back, and it'll push it back at least 3 or 4 weeks. So I did see one question on that for somebody asking about the UK. Yeah, it was Anthony. So surely this is another reason the UK is delayed, no movement for 3 weeks. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, that's exactly what it means. There's bigger issues right now worldwide than getting a Trident. Well, I mean, maybe there's a couple of people who in the UK think otherwise, but sorry to say, it will create a problem for that. And for us as a company, it's going to create a lot of other problems too, in terms of logistics and getting back online and many things that we haven't even worked through yet. So unfortunately, you guys outside of the U.S., you're going to have to wait a little bit longer for your Tridents. Another good question here, and I know Paul and I talked about this, was, so if we run out of reagent, do we run the shutdown task? Do you want to show them how to do that, Paul?
Yeah, so before I jump over to the screen share, right, they just basically outline it, and kind of, if you do run out of reagent, or whatever else, how do you kind of make sure that your reef is still getting dosed like it would still be getting Trident controlled dosing?
Yeah,
okay.
Good point.
And there's a couple different things we want to look at to make sure that we're making informed decisions and shutting down the Trident appropriately, so when you do have reagents again, we can get back in the saddle. So we'll jump over to screen share real quick.
Hang on. I'll let you know when we're there. Hang on.
Yeah. All right. Is it working? All right, perfect. Okay, perfect. So Neptune systems, right? First off, let's talk about shutting down Trident. So to do that, you'll click on the task icon, one of my favorite icons in Apex Fusion. And then I will scroll down to Trident shutdown. All right. And we just basically walk through the task of shutting the Trident down. It's fairly straightforward. Each step is kind of outlined. You select your Trident. You remove the sample line from the system. You remove your reagents from the drawer, if there's any reagents left, and cap them all up if there's any leftover reagent. Put the assemblies back in, close the door, and that's it. All right, and at that point, your Trident is shut down. All right.
Okay.
And there's nothing you need to do in order to make sure that that Trident is back up and running. It's a very simple process. So if you do run out of reagents, and essentially you want to shut down a Trident if it's not going to run for at least 2 or 3 days. It'll start throwing an error out in 24 hours that it has not run a test. Okay. And after it runs a test, runs through that error at about 72 hours, it's possible that you're going to start getting clogging if you don't run the Trident shutdown task. Okay. If you let it sit for more than a week or two, it's a lot of work to get it back up and running in normal fashion.
So go back to your screen on you, Paul, so we can see your face. And so this brings up a good topic here, which is support. Where are you, Paul? There you are. So hopefully you guys can hear me still. Yeah. So support, obviously, all of our support team can work from home, so there shouldn't be much of a disruption in at least taking tickets and calls and whatnot from what is normal. Is that correct?
Yes. So all of our support team is going to be running normal hours, if not more than normal hours, because now you guys are going to be sitting at home, with you looking at your tank a lot more. So we're going to be there to make sure that the Apex is working the way it's supposed to, and you're probably going to notice a lot more things, and that's good. So we're here to help. But with that being said, we don't have the same number of resources that we normally would, right? So that means if we do find that there are hardware issues, right, and those hardware issues, the way we normally handle those are We make an RMA, right, which is a return merchandise authorization. All right. And then if you are, a relatively new customer, right, and that's a new purchase for you, we arrange for a new item to be sent out, okay, with a deposit, and you can then return yours and get the deposit back. You also have the option, to have the item come back to you. We'll repair it and then we return it back to you. That's what normally happens. Right now, unfortunately, we don't have the ability to receive those items. They're going to be kind of held by FedEx. They're going to be held by the U.S. Postal Service until people are in the office, and people will be in the office from time to time to feed the fish and stuff like that. But we'll probably talk about that in a second. In terms of real work to get done on these things, in terms of processing, in terms of repair, it just can't happen. It's unfortunate. With all that being said, those resources will not be available. We have taken special precautions that really mission critical type things, i.e. the Apex base unit, the Energy Bar 832s, your wave power heads, your cores, right? I actually took a bunch of those home with me, Terence. And I have a limited supply, but we're going to do the best we can to be able to get replacements sent out if they need to. But that's also based on the inventory that I have. If I go into the office, more than once or twice or three times over these next couple of weeks, with the shut-in policy. So, so it's with what inventory is available and all that stuff. So my biggest thing here is, as much as I don't know, is how do I say this, is if you need to do what's best for you and your aquarium. So that means if replacement services aren't available that we would normally provide, you make the best decision that's good for you.
Yeah, I think I think we're going to do everything we can to keep the continuity that you would expect from us for warranty repair and whatnot. I think those of you who need to have out of warranty repair, that's just something that it's just not going to happen over the next 3 weeks. You're going to have to find another way to make something work. These are different times that we're in, and we're going to do the best we can to support all of our customers and be as accountable as we can to all of you guys. But you're going to have to flex a little bit with us too, I think.
Yeah, and there are certain items which I couldn't take our whole catalog, Terence. So there were certain items we had to be very selective on, and one of those was Tridents. We're not going to be able to do anything with Tridents if you're having a hardware issue with it. Our team is going to go above and beyond to try to resolve those issues with you directly. But in some certain situations, we're just going to have to deal with this when we get back in the office.
Right. As far as the office Paul was talking about, we do have a number of fish and corals and other things in the office. So we have to, obviously take care of them and have special care for them. We do have at least one person every day is going to be in the office to make sure that our services, right, networking and other things are running and allowing everybody else to do the things that they need to do to support you guys, support engineering, research and development, all of that. Additionally, we'll have somebody who's always feeding and taking care of all the aquariums as well, so that they don't get neglected, and that's allowed under the county's regulations.
Yeah, there was a stipulation for animals, and I think our aquariums definitely fall into that. So I'm definitely going to miss my aquarium. I don't have one here. I think someone mentioned, hey, how come it's not blue where Paul is? And it's going to be interesting. I don't think I've been this long away from the aquarium, since I've been a sales guy, right? On the road with, being a road warrior, right, which has been a couple years now. So.
Yeah, maybe you're gonna have to do something about that and put something at home, Paul.
Yeah, it's so convenient that it's at work though, Terence. It's like the water's there, it's already mixed up. I literally, I just got to turn around and feed the fish at my desk. It's great. One thing I wanted to talk about too, Terence, I don't know if you want me to go into it, but let's say you do run out of reagents and you're running Trident controlled dosing, right? How do you deal with that? right? And so if you have a second, I'd like to show people on how they're
Yeah,
going to deal with it.
absolutely. You mean to flip it over to the demo again?
Yeah, let's flip it back over to the demo.
All right, you're on demo.
All right, cool. So, Trident controlled dosing, right? It flexes on and off to be able to maintain very stable parameters. And, you can take a look at my aquarium there, right? I'm going to go ahead and do a little zoom because I just realized probably nobody can actually read any of that. That's probably much better now. And you can see very stable parameters, right? And so, the dose has been flexing, right, to be able to sometimes dose less or more as a result of that. Okay. And I can look at my dosing right here and see that, in the last 24 hours, it's done about 35.5 milliliters or 36 milliliters. I can see that most of that is during the day, right, how I have it programmed. But if I were to click on it, I can see exactly, how it's gone from day to day. Okay. And with that, I can look over day to day and see how much has basically been dosing over a 24-hour period. So on this day, it was 36, right? On this day, it was, sorry. On this day, it was, how's it? Sorry.
Hey, Paul, you're going to have to
on this
carry
day, it
this
was
for a second because I
35.
got somebody running machinery outside my window here. I'm going to pop out for a second, so carry it for a little bit on
Okay.
that demo, okay?
Cool. So this part you can see 36, right? Now, if we go to my nominal, if we find out like, well, how much does Paul actually have programmed to dose, right? I'm going to go to my dose alkalinity outlet, and you can see I have it broken up between a couple of different nominal doses. All right, that those nominal doses are more like 12 to 13 milliliters or so. So I have programmed about 37 milliliters a day, but the Trident has been kind of pressing on the brakes. So I was going to if I was going to run this, if I wanted to take this to Trident controlled dosing, I would just wouldn't have a Trident there. I would go to control. I would go to
I'm back.
control interval, and I would remove that. And then I'd probably cut this back down a little bit to maybe 5.5 milliliters. So I'm going to do that by clicking modify interval. Instead of doing 6.5, I would do 5.5 milliliters. So basically what I want to deliver is exactly the nominal dose over the next period of time, which is my average. So if you see your average nominal dosing, when you look at that chart and it's more than what you have programmed to dose, just bump it up to that level, because that's probably about what the Trident's been doing day in, day out for the last couple weeks, right? And then just don't make any drastic changes in your aquarium during this time. It's not the time to go and buy 20 new colonies or a couple or 15 frags or something like that. It's once the Trident gets back in and you can monitor those levels a little bit more closely, that's the time to do it.
And again, we're only mentioning this for people who are don't have their Trident because something happened and we can't take care of them for this time, or maybe they completely ran out of reagent and had to spin it down, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna stop sharing here, Terence, and come back this way.
Excellent. You must be leaning into the camera, Paul. I gotta shrink your head a little bit, man.
Oh yeah, I got a lot closer. Sorry, got kind of excited there. Probably was a really big head at that point.
So let's see if we have any other questions. Let's see. Okay, Carlos Cubas asked. He said, missed most of this. So the reagent, it's out on most online retailers, have been getting 2 months supply directly from Neptune. How do I get more? Don't fret, it will be hitting those online retailers again here, probably end of week and beginning of next week. We cannot ship out of our office right now, so that's where you're going to have to get it. And as I said earlier, please don't buy more than you need. There will be stops in place where you can't do that on the online retailers, but I'm sure some people could sneakily find a way around. Don't do that, and please encourage other people not to do that as well. Okay. So should I buy reagents, this week? Is that what you're saying? Not necessarily. I mean, if you've got, a whole 2-month kit sitting on the side right now waiting, then no, it's not going to be anything urgent. We're going to be back online on the 7th as far as we know right now, and we'll be able to start shipping out then, even out of our retail store, I believe. Jay Foosh
Yeah.
asks, where are we located? The office is located in Morgan Hill, California, which is in the Santa Clara County area of the Bay Area. Reagent rationing, Reef Dude said. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like that in a way. I mean, if you're doing 12 a day right now tests, you might want to do 4 just to make sure. Otherwise, I wouldn't freak out too much. Let's see if there's other questions. Trying to see, Paul. I know.
Wanted to touch on one comment I saw, Terence.
Yeah.
Somebody said, "Hey, I'm having this issue right now. Does that mean I'm kind of SOL?" No, contact our support team. Right? If you are having trouble, that's where you always start with it. Right? We're there to stand behind the product, and we're there to be there for you. And the support manager and the support agents are going to give you, the most up-to-date information in terms of what your options are. Right? So the best thing is, don't hang your head down here and say, oh, there's nothing I can do. We've been standing behind our product and supporting our customers for many, many years, and that's not changing, right? So we're all hobbyists, and we want to see you be successful, and we're going to do everything we can to make that happen.
What's really cool here, I like this, right? Jay Foosh just said, I just bought a 6-month kit if you need some before that, or need it before that. He's talking about the guy that asked about the reagents earlier. So that's really cool. Somebody's got a 6-month kit. They're like saying, hey,
yeah,
if you need reagent, I've got it. Hit me up, kind of a thing. HR said, well, this is not our HR, but somebody called HR on YouTube, says, can we go to your location to purchase? Absolutely not. There's nobody there that's going to be able to sell you anything at all. So don't even bother trying. And then this one is good, Adam. Adam Moore says, sorry, Paul, Terence is killing you on the backdrop. So hey, I think you're going to have to green screen or something, okay? Or put a picture of an aquarium if we do another one, something like that.
Okay, I'll think of something for the next one. Okay.
Unless they've run out at Walmart, they have these shower curtains that look like they have fish on them. Paul, you can hang one of those behind you.
Yeah, I'll pitch that to my wife. I'll see how she feels about it.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Any other questions? We're not going to have a long one here today. Somebody said that they just had a Core 20 power supply die. Mike Bayer, which I think we know him. Mike, we will help you out. If you haven't submitted a ticket yet, that's exactly what you need to do so that we can help get maybe a replacement out to you. Paul said he does have some supplies there to take care of certain situations. And if we don't, and we get into an issue, we also have our local fish stores, which our sales guys are already talking to them and trying to make situations where certain local fish stores in different geos will be able to help out our customers should they have problems with any equipment, right?
Yep. And the best place to get help is neptunesystems.com/get help, right? You just type in that URL, you get taken right to the support form, fill it out, let us know the situation, and we're going to be there to help out.
Exactly. Okay, I don't know if there's any more real questions here. Definitely a lot of comments that say stay safe. That's for everybody. I think it's a smart thing, even if you haven't been mandated to do it in your particular locale. The least amount of human-to-human contact that you can have outside is going to help slow this thing down so that the people that do get infected and need medical help can get that first, and we don't overwhelm the system. Let's see here. Well, I got to at least put this up, Paul, because I love it. Terence, I have 2 friends who bought the Versa. They're having issues with Mobius. I just ordered my dose. Thank you. Thank you, Marine Depot. Sorry, I had to do
it. Yeah. You can't help it. You can't.
I couldn't. I had to click. I had to. That was not a plant, by the way. That's Carlos Davila, and I just put it up on the screen. So, you guys going to answer tickets from your assistant's home? So can we keep the helpline going? We absolutely have the helpline going. And,
absolutely. Give us a call. Everyone, one of the best things that we did was switch over to a cloud VoIP system a year and a half or so ago. Much to the pushing of my good friend across the screen here, and right now that Thank you, Terence. It has made it so much more possible for us to be as flexible as we are.
Excellent. Excellent. Andy Glade says it's ironic Paul has a ton of supplies and no tank.
I'm here for you, Andy Glade. I'm here for you guys.
And look at this. We actually have a comment from none other than Alan Bazinet. If Paul was a bourbon, which bourbon would he be? So that's definitely a good one.
I take donations.
Let's see. Is there any risk of Apex Fusion going down? Do you have any backup location for business continuity to support Fusion? It's a good question.
Great question. Great question.
Absolutely. Their Apex and Apex Fusion to keep them in tune with their tanks. So anything to add to that, Paul?
No, I think you hit out of the park. You should have no worry about Apex Fusion and the servers not being available and those services that we offered. Just to echo your thing, our engineering team works tirelessly on that uptime, and I think that's something that they can be very proud of, and I'm very proud for them. The uptime on Apex Fusion is very good. With that being said, we are one of the few products out there that even if the servers were to go down, it does not matter. You still have complete local control over your Apex, and that is something that uniquely defines us as a company, because there's not a lot of other companies out there now that are both making a very capable cloud-based service while at the same time providing great local access.
Yeah, about 99% of the functionality that you get in Apex Fusion is available in Apex Local. So that no matter what happens, we have seen this happen at the end of last year with companies who had products out that were cloud-based companies, that are only cloud-based companies, and those companies go away, you're basically left with a brick. And we're not going anywhere, but you can rest assured that no matter what, even if you don't have an internet connection, no matter what the reason, you can still access everything on your Apex locally within your local network. And do whatever you want on it, and that is a great thing to bring up, Paul.
Thanks.
I don't know. I think that's probably about enough, Paul. I think we've run this one about as far as it can go. We will give one shout out here. Marquette Chester says John Mossbacher was fantastic today with help with the Trident. Thanks. So shout out to John. John is always making it happen for the customers. We
appreciate those words.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anything else to add, Paul, before I shut this down?
I was just going to say, everyone put yourself in somebody else's shoes right now. We're going to do the best we absolutely can. I think everyone's going to start to get a little cabin fever, over the next couple weeks, and just let's all keep that in mind, and we're here to help out.
Absolutely, and we'll still have live stream next Tuesday. Who knows? Maybe I'll get bored not being in the office and actually have more ad hoc live streams because I'm sitting in front of the beautiful tank here and want to share. So who knows? But for sure, next Tuesday we will have a live stream, another Let's Talk Reef. Until then, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for your understanding in all of this. And, we'll talk to you soon. Take care. Enjoy those fish.
All right.